Hey there, Aries. This is Chronic Joy Tarot, and we're going to do a general reading for those born under the sign of Aries, or if it's your moon or rising sign, or if you're just compelled to be here. It's the messages for you. My readings are very much about your inner soul, your own intuition, the truth of who you are and how to develop, your spirit, your spiritual development. This is what it's about. It's less about other people and more about you. So let's get going. Every time I do a reading, I pull one oracle card to give us guidance on an aspect of ourselves that we can focus on. And the oracle deck I'm using this month is the Crystal Wisdom. I love this deck. It's really beautiful. And for you guys, I pulled the Eye of the Storm. So, sorry, my battery almost went. Eye of the Storm is the card for you at this time, Aries. So this is talking about creating a safe haven within you, and to walk safely through the storm. When there's chaos in your outer world, you can still create a safe space, a quiet place where you can rejuvenate, where you can, avoid the stress. So this is talking about really going deep within in the face of chaos in your world. So this could be literally chaos in your world, in your family, at work, with your relationship, or it could just mean a general sense, because I know, a lot of, there's always all kinds of things going on globally, but with the way that technology is now, we have all that information like right in our hand all the time, right? And that can be overwhelming. It could be overwhelming that, we are exposed to that chaos, which is kind of always there, but we're exposed to it more directly now. And that has an effect. I know it has an effect on me. I definitely have to tune out a lot in order to keep myself feeling a little bit sane. So this is going to help you to practice how to do so. And then if this is pertaining to a specific stressful situation in your direct life and not just sort of globally, then this guidance will help you to stay safe throughout that as well. Okay? The spread that we're using is called the Flying Bird. This is the Zen Tarot deck by Osho. We have a liftoff point here, and then we take flight between the wings and come to a new level of awareness at the end. Okay? Your starting point right now, Aries, is comparison. So the first thing amidst, a stressful situation, the first thing to know is that there is not only one way to go about resolving chaos. There is not only one way. And if you are so focused down on that one process in order to get rid of the stress or the chaos or whatever, you may find yourself kind of staying in the stress longer than you wanted, because there isn't only one way. There is not, like these trees, there is not only one really great way to be a tree, right? The oak and the bamboo have very different ways of existing, but they both serve their purpose. So the first thing to do is to, when you're talking about this stressful situation, is to acknowledge that there is room for all of it. There's room for opposing opinions. There's room for different ideas of solutions. It's really going within and kind of acknowledging that your way of resolving it may not be the only way, and that staying open and flexible to what comes along is going to speed up the progress and the doing away of the stress. The left wing here for this spread is called is actually the internal energies that represents internal energies within you that maybe you don't always let others become aware of, but that you are aware of. And then the right wing are external energies. And this first internal card here is called the fear of flying, and it's a possible block to your progress. So it's an energy that you really want to master. And for you at this time, Aries, it is compassion. This Lover's card has a few interpretations. For me, in this reading, in this position, I'm taking this as tap into your compassionate heart, your sense of knowing, like we said, there's room for all. There's room for all the opinions. There's room for all the different ways of approaching, tackling difficult subjects. There's space for it all. And realizing that if someone comes along with an opinion that seems in opposition to yours, if you approach it with compassion and saying, I can see that you really believe that this is the way through it. And I'm hoping that I can meet you kind of halfway. I believe something different, but maybe we can blend our ideas together. Have compassion. Know that everybody's place, everybody's position where they are in their life has to do with their own journey and how all the experiences they've had leading up to this moment, and yours as well. Your outlook feels right for you, but in 2 months from now, you might have a totally different outlook. So allow room for that sort of malleable side of life, that the way that life just kind of flows and changes and shifts all the time. Allow room for that. And you might find that some of that stress, some of that storm kind of falls away. Okay? In your external world, if this is mastered, right? If this compassion and this space of allowing room for all of it, right? For all the ways is achieved, you come upon real transformation, real change. And this is where I say that storm falls away. The stress will fall away. Most of the time, stress is created because we're pushing against something. And it's not really about outside forces. Those outside forces are going to be there, right? Obstacles come up in our lives. But it's how we respond to it. If you push against it and push and dig your heels in, you're creating stress. If you pause or step around it or take a step back, let it pass you, that you could create some real change in the way you operate in this world if you just start to really take into consideration that all of it, every aspect of life is kind of happening for your growth, right? Even the conflicts, they're happening for you, not to you. Okay? It's not always, the simplest, it's a simple concept, but it's not always easy to master. But you could be on your way, Aries. I think you have a good chance. Internally, the next energy is receptivity. So really open up the heart, open up your intuition, open up your whole spirit, and allow in anything that life has to offer. Allow it all in. Do away and let go with the things that aren't serving you, and then hang on to the things that align with you. It's really that simple. But staying open with your open heart, even amidst all that stress and all that chaos, is going to create, the most pleasant experience for you. People will see that too. If you really start to practice this within, they will see it happening, and they will know that change is really coming because you've shifted the way you're approaching it. The external energy in response to this openness, the receptivity, is ripeness, meaning it's time. You just allow that fruit, when it's juicy enough, it will fall from the tree. It doesn't, It doesn't jump off, it doesn't stay hanging on when it's ready. It flows along. And staying open in your own experience, staying open to what life brings, will make things happen in the perfect time, right? It will allow, an easier path for you in your daily life, okay? The top internal energy here is the Fool, and the top external is fighting. I love it. So taking that sort of first step and openness just to whatever's coming, just kind of trusting the path. I'm going to step, I'm going to try this new way, this open-hearted, open-minded way of seeing this situation, and know that even in opposition, others, they're not wrong because they're right for themselves, just as I feel right for myself. Creating space for all of it, for all the opposition, will help you avoid that fighting energy. It helps you release it. It helps you just know, most of the chaos and the opposition and the stress is in my mind. It's created by my thoughts and the way I see it and the way I approach it. So if I just open it all up, use my compassion, use my intuition, and then move along and start down a new path, trusting that, spirit will support me, then you can avoid that stormy feeling and you will be safely protected. You'll have that inner sanctum kind of always with you, moving through all of life experiences. Okay, Aries, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for being here. Check me out on Instagram if you're on there, I mean. And I do little mini readings there. It's Living Chronic Joy or Chronic Joy Tarot on Instagram. And follow me there. And we'll do some real short general readings every now and then. I'm trying for like a few days a week. April kind of threw me off my feet, but with my day gig, it was really crazy. But I think I'm back to center again. All right, you guys. I hope you have a good May. I love you guys. Bye.